All right. I may have to make this a bi-weekly thing because doing a video every single week is it's kicking my ass. That's what it is. I'm recording this on a Saturday. It is 3 a.m, but I'm not going to have this edited until Sunday because I got stuff to do. I had stuff to do tonight, and I got it done, and now I don't have enough time to edit and have a migraine. That's a long story. And then we're going to get to the thing. So hold off. Just wait. Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have a couple things that I want to talk about, but I'm only going to be talking about one of them. I don't know why I told you I had other things. I was going to be doing a video that was going to be deeper. It was going to be a very emotional and it was going to be the kind of content you're not used to on this channel. It was going to be very, very sharing. I was going to be sharing a lot, which some people have told me not to do, but it is relevant and I think it is important. It's very important to me. But I do think it can be very important to you guys as well. But I kind of want to wait and make sure I word it correctly. So instead, today we're going to be talking about something else. Something that I wasn't quite sure that I wanted to do a video on. Now, again, I'm recording this on a Saturday, but I'm probably not going to be posting this until Sunday. Maybe, I don't know. But I actually wanted to talk about a website that apparently not a lot of people know about, and that is closingcredits.com. Closingcredits.com is associated to castingcall.club or castingcall.club.com, whatever. The kind of in fact, the only real good platform for only, character and video game and cartoon and animation website for getting work doing that kind of stuff. Most other platforms do mostly commercial narration. They do mostly e-learning. And then every now and then you'll see some video game or some cartoon stuff come by. But castingcall.club has always been dedicating its time, has always dedicated its time and focus on the animation side and the character, the cartoon and the video game, and they've been doing a phenomenal job. I've made a couple videos about them in the past, and I made some mentions of some stuff that I'd like to see move forward, and one of them was actually the education side. Because there were so many people coming to the platform that were very, very new, very, very new. Because obviously the animation, video game, cartoon, character side of voiceover draws in a lot more of the young, inexperienced amateur voice actors, which is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. It's very much something that, a lot of people, want to get into voice acting because of. They want to get into that side. And I don't blame anybody. It's very, very fun. It's what I do. It's what I love. But there was a lot of people on that side, a lot of young people getting into voice acting, getting into the character work, getting into the video game that had no idea what it was they were doing. And I've said this many, many times, the character side of voice acting, the cartoon, the anime, the video game, is technically the most strenuous, is the most... You have to have the best quality audio to be able to do that kind of stuff. And a lot of people just don't understand that. People think that you can have an untreated space and a USB mic that's like $60 and then you're fine. That's not the case. Doing character work demands the highest quality of your recording space, the highest recording quality. And that is mostly because of the expected range, whether it is the various different kinds of range. So you have your vocal range, different character voices you can do, all this kind of stuff. Your performance range, so that would be whispering as well as yelling. on all the different emotions and permutations of performance, and then the quality range. And all of these can basically be showcased in various different ways. But the point is, you have to basically have the same quality audio on all these different levels. So if you're whispering, if your character's scared or they're hiding and they're supposed to be whispering, then the background noise, if you turn the gain up, is going to get louder. So you have to make sure that your space is treated to the point that you're not getting any outside noise, that you're not hearing the PC fan, that you're not hearing the AC unit, all that kind of stuff. So the noise floor needs to be very, very low. And when it comes to doing emotions, doing yelling, efforts, screaming, all that kind of stuff, your space needs to be treated well enough that we're not getting any reflection. We're not getting any reverb. We're not getting any echo. We're not getting any bounce back, no bass, none of that. And then your microphone quality has to be really, really good, because we have to be able to mix your audio. I say we because I also do casting, I also do directing, and I'm working on a project right now where I'm doing that kind of stuff. And we have to be able to mix your audio with other people's audio. And if someone is on a really, really cheap, Chinese knockoff microphone and someone else is on, a $1,000 microphone, they can't mix. They cannot mix. It's going to be very, very obvious that one person is recorded in a different setup, recorded in a different area. Like it's going to be blatantly obvious. So they have to be at least high quality enough in the recording with the interface and the microphone that all parties, that they're not going to sound different. They're not going to sound like they're different quality. So character work and voice acting it demands the most of you as far as your quality and your performance and all this kind of stuff. When it comes to commercial narration, you're not yelling, you're never yelling, and you're never really whispering. So your studio setup, for the most part, doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be as high a standard as character work. Now, you still want to have really good quality. You still need to have no, traffic noise and all this kind of stuff. But it doesn't have to be treated to the point that, that you could yell, because you don't have to in commercial narration. And then when it comes to audiobook, it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be a dynamic microphone. It doesn't have to be, a large diaphragm or a small diaphragm condenser mic. It can be a dynamic microphone. Those ones don't ask as much as you. And even when it comes to performance doesn't have to be that dramatic. Even when it comes to audiobook and doing like character work, it doesn't have to be, these elaborate Shakespearean performances. It can be pretty low key. And when it comes to commercial narration, for the most part, your performance is, if you're bored, you're probably reading it right. I hate to say it, but that's true. So, just keep that in mind. When it comes to character work, it's a lot more demanding. So, and a lot of young people are interested in voice acting and trying to get into voice acting, but it's the one that asks the most. It's the one that's the most technical. It's the one that's the most, it's the one where you could miss a lot of bars, where you could, miss your target very easily because of quality. And because of performance. A lot of people don't know how to perform, but they really want to get into this part of voice acting. So here comes Casting Call. They have a website where a lot of auditions come in, and not a lot of people say that it's mostly just Minecraft stuff. It's not true. Castingcall.club has a wide variety. Just keep your eyes out. Check regularly. There's a lot of stuff. Very high profile stuff has come through there. And then there's been a lot of paid work and there's been a lot of unpaid work. It's a variety because it's an open platform, which I love. I love that it's just as available to major industries as it is to the everyday content creator. But one of the things that I'd said that they needed to, include was education. Because if they are bringing in a lot of young people who are interested in this side, they need to educate them. They need to, provide that information as much as possible. There were some other things that I said, would help, and they've applied a lot of those things, and the site has exploded. It's grown exponentially. It's amazing. And then they started focusing on education. At first, it was associated with castingcall.club, but then it got moved to its own website, to Closing Credits. Now, castingcall.club is a free platform, period, across the board. That's it. There is some extra features that you can get, or some extra perks that you can pay a membership for, but it's not necessary. You can have the free membership, and you'll still have the same access. It's fine. But Closing Credits is pretty much only the paid memberships, because they're bringing in teachers, they're bringing in content, like they're bringing in educators, they're bringing in coaches, they're bringing in workshops and seminars, and these cost something. And I'm for those who do know that I have been associated with Closing Credits, I'm not being biased. Either way, I'm speaking. They've not asked me to say anything. I'm speaking directly, from my experience. That's it. Yes, I have been in podcasts in association with Closing Credits. I've hosted some Q&As, some workshops, some what have you. And I'm constant back and forth with some of the people that put on some of the events and stuff like that. And I love everything that I'm saying. I love everything that I am experiencing and getting to see and hearing from the other people who are getting classes with Closing Credits. And Closing Credits is relatively new, and it's going to grow much like castingcall.club. It's going to grow. And I can see them having a bunch of various different classes for the same thing. One of my, not necessarily an issue, but one thing that I do think that they should probably have more of is, let's say you wanted to take their ADR course with one of the people that host one of those classes. They only have one. They only have one person teaching the ADR course, and it fills up rather quickly. There's not a lot of seats. There's not a lot of availability all the time, and it fills up really, really quickly. It would be awesome if they basically had a class for every single possible thing that you could learn in the anime, in the video game, in the cartoon, in the animation side. I wish that basically every single day there was somebody teaching one of these classes. Now, of course, they can't right now because it's still relatively new. They're still working their way up to there, and I'm sure that they will at some point in time. But they do have classes, and they do have courses for pretty much everything. Pretty much everything that you would need, especially starting out and getting into. All across the board. Basics for demo production, just production in general. They have improv, character creation, script interpretation, ADR. They have a whole bunch of other courses that aren't even necessarily connected to the voice acting side. But from everything that I've seen, they've been phenomenal. They've been really, really good. Really, really good education and information. The only thing that I would say not necessarily, and this is kind of a secondary feature, it's not necessarily the main point of the website, is they do offer more premium auditions on their kind of Discord server for people that are actually a paid member for the classes, that are actually a paid member for the website. There is a Discord that has a lot of more premium auditions, and I get that. I get the idea, and I don't necessarily disagree. I think it's totally fine. People are paying for it. It gives extra. It's not something that was needed. They didn't actually have to include that in the basically just the education part of this website. So it is a nice secondary feature. It just doesn't seem as premium all the time as it could be. A lot of the times, it really seems like they're just copying and pasting some auditions that are the same auditions that you'd find just on the regular castingcall.club, or the kind of auditions that I just find on Twitter. So, but again, it's a secondary feature, so if you were paying for that, if that was the membership, then I would probably have a little bit more of a problem with it. But due to the fact that it's just something extra that you just throw in, then I think it's totally fine. I would just like to see a little bit more effort and a little bit more premium. And another thing is obviously my general dislike of Discord in general, especially when it comes to doing things like auditions and casting calls and stuff like that, and roster website, because it just gets cluttered. Discord just gets easily cluttered with stuff that isn't technically connected. Also, I find it, at least it's just me, it might just be me, incredibly frustrating. A lot of the links that seem to be shared on a lot of these audition forums or whatever, the links don't work. I can't click on anything. It just looks like a repost, but there's nothing there. And that could just be me, but that keeps happening. So, but that's really the only gripe that I have. Everything else is phenomenal. Everything else is really good. Yes, it is hundreds of dollars. Not a bunch of hundreds of dollars. Just like, I think like the lowest is 120. Then there's like 150, and there's like 250 or something like that. You have to double check on the website. And it's like a yearly thing. You pay like once a year, and that's the whole year. So if that was monthly, that'd be reprehensible. But for a year, that's totally fine. And basically what you're getting is you're getting access to all the free stuff, as well as you get these kind of tokens or these kind of credits that you can use to basically pay for the courses and classes and workshops and stuff like that. And different pay rates get you more credits or get you more access to different things, that kind of thing. So it's a very interesting system. I can definitely say that there's not a lot of websites like this. But the thing that really stands out is the fact that it is focused on character work, and it is taught by a lot of people that I trust, that I would absolutely... In fact, there's a lot of people that host the ADR class, and like, even though I don't really need this information, they're people that I 100% trust. So I'm like, yeah, I'd sit in on that class. I definitely want to be a part of that. Just because like, I'd love to hear what this person has to say. Yeah, it's really, really good. And more people need to know about it. More people need to know about it. Now, does this come back to the thing that I've said many, many times, that you shouldn't pay for memberships for websites when you're not making money? Yes. However, this is different, because normally people pay so that the pay-to-plays are so that you can audition and get work. That's what those are for. However, this isn't necessarily for the auditions and getting work. Yes, there is the audition side, but that is not technically what it is for. Now, the reason that you shouldn't go to the pay-to-plays and just hand out money when you're not making money is because you're not ready. If you're not making money on the free platforms, then you can't vindicate spending money on these platforms to audition. Closing Credits is different because it's a platform that actually educates you. And you also get auditions. So if you're associated with the website, you are getting better. You are actually improving. You're actually moving forward. You're learning the kind of things that you need to learn. And they actually do a lot of, covering a lot of basics, and as well as covering the more advanced stuff. So it's a full range, a full gambit of stuff that people need to learn. And so in that sense, it is different. Now, if you don't have the money, don't worry about it. If you don't have the money, wait. It's totally fine. There are various different other places you can get the information. I mean, you could search YouTube. You could watch my YouTube channel. You could watch a lot of other voice actors' YouTube channels to get basically the same information. The thing about Closing Credits is that it's more, it's in one place, and it is scheduled. It is well put together. It's well planned out, thought out. There's workshops and there's worksheets, and it is more one-on-one. Just watching my YouTube channel, you're going to get a lot of information, but it's not going to be as much one-on-one. It's not going to be, I mean, yes, you could come for me for coaching, which I do offer, and you could get, one-on-one that way, but just watching a video on YouTube won't necessarily be the same as taking a class, doing a workshop, or getting a one-on-one coach. Because then you're not able to ask questions and get the immediate feedback. You can ask questions in the comment section. I encourage it. People have been doing that for years, and that's basically how I come up with new ideas for new videos. But it may take a while. I mean, if I'm posting these once a week, you got to wait a week. However, if you take a class, do a workshop, you're going to get more instantaneous feedback. You're going to get more, a more rapid response. So that's more or less what you're benefiting from Closing Credits. Now, I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm not saying that you have to go to Closing Credits. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to Closing Credits. This is not technically a review. I'm just letting you know because there's a lot of people that just didn't know. And if this sounds like something for you, go for it. Absolutely. I'm very familiar with the ins and outs now of how they work. I've, done some podcasts. I've done some Q&As, and I'd love to go back. I'm happy to be associated with them in any way. I think that they're helping out a lot of people, and I want to see them grow. But again, if you can't afford the annual membership, don't worry about it. You can wait. It's totally fine. Just keep going to castingcall.club and keep auditioning and watch some more videos. Get some one-on-one coaches when you can. Totally good. But yeah, just thought I'd put that out there. Again, it's not really a review. It's just me saying that's my experience. That's it. I'm not editing this tonight. It is now 4 a.m. My head is hurting. My voice is hurting. And I got a lot to do. So this will probably go on Sunday. Maybe. We'll see. That's going to be it. So thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Totally fine. Subscribe if you're new, bell for notifications, and leave down in the comment section below. Like to see me cover any other topics, go for it. Email is in the description if you would like to contact me personally. Again, I offer coaching as well as demo production. Been doing that a lot lately. That's also been kind of bogging me down. But it's all good. I love helping people. And until next time, peace.